Hi, good evening all. Those who don't know me, I'm Gajendra Patil. I welcome you on behalf of CIO Manufacturing Forum for this knowledge session by Lucas, Simon and Checkpoint. For today's session, we have two speakers. We'll start with Simon presentation where Mr. Yogesh Poddar, who is head of Simon Cybersecurity Services, which is Locus Group company, and who is VP Cybersecurity Sales. Yogesh will help us understand their company overview, portfolio, and their offerings. The next session will be from Mr. Sai Karthik, who is from Checkpoint and he is a cloud security specialist. And he will help us understand how to secure the journey to cloud. I also came to know that there is some lucky draw we are going to have, for which probably we'll more understand from the Locus team. Over to you, Mr. Yogesh Poddar.
Thank you, Gajendra. Thank you for the quick introduction. Thank you very much for the CIO forum. We really appreciate the short notice at which you have agreed to, attend to this webinar. I'm sure this will be very interesting and very informative for you in terms of your, cloud journeys that you will undertake or you've already undertaken. Thank you very much again. I come from a group company called Locus. Locus has been in business for 21 years now. Locus is regarded as a very large systems integrator with offerings are very wide ranging, right? From when we started with offering solutions around Sun Microsystems, then we added Cisco. We have been a very large Cisco shop, offering lots of solutions around Cisco, not being just a mere reseller of Cisco or a distributor of Cisco. And we've evolved. We've built a lot of networking. We built a lot of data centers, and we have been even securing data centers that we built. We built high performance computing supercomputer clusters for several projects of national importance. That's how, and then we added cybersecurity to our portfolio. And before that, we added cloud offerings. We have been a very successful partner to AWS. This is something that we started about 4 years back, and we've been pretty successful at digital journeys, supporting digital journeys of several enterprises across the globe, migrating their workloads from on-prem to cloud, securing them, managing as they expanded across multi-cloud environments. I hope you're able to see my screen. I think I'm still.
Yeah, Yogesh,
can you confirm? Okay, thank you. So Locus has grown. Locus is about 600 people with 5 locations in India and one location in the US. With 600 people, as I said, we have been evolving in terms of because we have been regarded as someone who supports customers in their digital transformation journeys. So digital transformation journeys, when they evolved, we were, as I said, we supported them with networking solutions, building data centers on-prem, data centers on the cloud. And we have been very successful in that, and we have had marquee customers that we have supported across enterprise, government in India and several locations across the globe: Australia, Africa, Europe, and the US. And the way we succeeded is because of we have been always helping customers in their transformations, and we have been building people, technology, and process expertise within. And today we work with very large OEM organizations that help in building, securing, and managing large data assets that enterprises built over a period of time. We run our own network operations center. We run our own SOC operations center from our Hyderabad facility. And The SOC Operations Center has been managing 24/7 monitoring and management of on-prem infrastructure, cloud infrastructure from our SOC facility in India. And we've been managing several prominent customers, manufacturing customers in India, and also some customers in the US, which are large telecom operators. And we have built a team of certified expert L1, L2, L3 analysts, which man the IT operations and security operations for customers for several years now. Our portfolio is end-to-end. Okay, before that, probably I should tell you that Symune is a part of Locus. Probably I missed saying that. We created Symune last year out of Locus because cybersecurity was one of the things that Locus was offering, and we wanted that not to be diluted. So certain customers, I mean, very discerning customers, large customers who want vendors to come in and look at their cybersecurity portfolios, want a vendor that is exclusively focusing on cybersecurity offerings. So that's the reason we created Symune. Symune focuses entirely on cybersecurity solutions and services, and I take care of that business for the group. And Symune has been in the business for about less than 2 years now, and we have already started offering added a lot of logos here, and we've been started to serve a good number of new accounts that we've been adding to our portfolio. Our portfolio, as I said, is end-to-end. We start from right from governance, risk, and compliance, where we step in and kind of make assessments for customers, audit their infrastructure, audit their processes, and make sure that they comply according to the industry that they belong to. And we offer infrastructure and network security, which we have been doing for a long time. We offer that using security intelligence analytics. We offer that using zero trust principles. We offer full stack MDR, which helps customer protect, detect, and remediate any threats that can lie within their networks or which can come from the internet or from internal threats. So we have a full stack MDR offering, managed detection and response that we offer to customers. We have been also offering identity access management, SSO, and PAM solutions. And we've done several installations across industries for customers in India and in the African countries. And when we step in, we also step in with a security posture assessment services that we offer. We do vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, based on which customers can secure their assets. And after that, further engagement starts with customer, where we can step in for securing their endpoint, securing their network, securing their network traffic, securing their other digital assets. So we've been very successful at that. We work with several technologies. We are technology agnostic, but we have built a solid empire of people, processes, and technologies that we have inherited from Locus, because that's a practice which started there. We've been very successful in on-prem cloud security operations. We also serve several customers in managing their hybrid environments, which are on-prem and on cloud. We have also been doing lots of IT ops engagements with customers, and several customers have actually rewarded us with security operations, looking at how our performance was on the IT ops side. So there's a large customer in the US, a telecom customer. We were doing their IT ops for about 5 years, and looking at the performance, they rewarded us with the security ops. So we manage their complete 24/7 IT ops and security ops for that customer in the US. So how we do it is, we have certain processes and technologies that help us in cloud visibility, cloud economics, and cloud automation, and managing the security and health of the entire cloud infrastructure, which should be across cloud hyperscalers, and also help customers with governance and reporting that they need from time to time. We work with several hyperscalers like AWS, GCP, Azure, and Oracle, and that gives us an insight into the underlying technologies that these hyperscalers offer in terms of tools, We have expertise on to those tools. We also have a couple of IPs that we have developed that help us manage multi-cloud environments, manage customers' cloud economics, help us manage the cloud operations day in day out. We've been offering 24/7 monitoring and management of CloudOps as a service to several customers for a long time now. And yeah, this is what I was saying when we were supporting customers from in their digital transformation journeys, moving their workloads from on-prem to cloud. Some customers stuck with one hyperscaler, but many of the customers, because of the variety of the tools and platforms and the nature of their work, chose multiple cloud hyperscalers. And we have been supporting more than 100 customers who use multiple hyperscaler platform that they used to work with. They work with in their cloud migration, managing their storage and managing the DR for them. And as I said, we were doing high performance computing on-prem, but we have been lately building high performance computing on cloud as well, helping customers manage their large data lakes, also providing them analytics solution using those data lakes. And we are also working on several AI, ML, and deep learning technologies that we represent several vendors. And we offer SLA-based managed services on a 24/7. We have a team of about 90 people exclusively on cybersecurity operations. Other than that, we have about 150 more people who do IT ops. So this is how we are in terms of people, technology, and processes, which are fairly mature. And these are some cloud. I don't want to take too much of time because I would like to take spare time for the checkpoint solution presentation. So these are some of the prominent customers that we support globally in their cloud transformation journeys, because there's some customers who we have worked on cloud strategy and security, some customers on data lakes and AI, some customers purely on backup and DR. So these are some examples that we can talk about. So you can see Locus and Simon as a vendor who can support you all through your cloud transformation journeys, whether it is just to migrate your cloud workloads, secure them, or even manage it for you. So these are some of our customers in the region. We have a local office in Pune that is headed by Anand. Anand, I think most of you know. So these are some of our customers in the Pune region. And this is the Pune team that Anand manages. There are about 4 or 5 people under him, and I think many of you know them by their first name. Thank you. And yeah, we work very closely with Checkpoint in offering their cloud security, cloud management products suite. And in the forthcoming session, I think you will definitely see an engaging session that is of interest to you. And I think sooner or later, if you have not already started your cloud journeys, you will definitely be interested in looking more keenly at the cloud solutions from Checkpoint. Thank you. And I think as Gajendra said, I will probably add to what Gajendra said. At the end of this webinar or after the webinar, when we send you our thank you notes, we will send you a link to ask you to fill out a brief form in terms of seeing what your interest lies in and what is the more information that you would like to take from obtain from us. We will take that piece of information and we'll run a small lottery and reward a few respondents with some giveaway. I'm sure you'll like that giveaway. Over to you, Gajendra. Before I think you can quickly introduce Sai if that is required, or Sai can take over from here.
So I have already introduced Sai.
Yeah, okay.
So Sai can take over. Yeah.
Yeah, Sai, you can do that.
Over to you, Sai.
Thank you for the introduction, Gajendra. And Yogesh, thank you for the handover. Let me share my screen right here.
Yogesh, you can give control to Sai.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. So Yogesh, you set the stage up very well for me to springboard off from here. So yes, Yogesh primarily spoke about how they will be helping you with their journey to cloud. We specialize and we work with them, through them, to help you secure your journey to the cloud. So this is what we as a company do in general, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. Before that, let me just again quickly introduce myself. My name is Karthik. I am a cloud security expert from Checkpoint. I've spent about 5 to 6 years in Checkpoint doing various different things. The latter of which I've been working as a cloud security expert. Now, that being said, let me also introduce my company. So, Checkpoint. It's a very familiar name, of course. Most of you have encountered us as firewall OEMs, network security OEMs, but this is what we are today. So right now we have about 100,000 customers worldwide, tens of different countries, thousands of different partners. We spent 26 years counting the years that we're already running right now in the industry, and yes, 2 billion, $2.5 billion company, and we have just a few hundred, shy of 6,000 employees right now worldwide. Small number of people for an operation that we run. Happy to say. And you can see the list of customers that we cater to right now. These are just the names that were uh, available as references, of course. But yes. And this right here is what we do as a pure play cybersecurity OEM. This is what we do. So let me just guide you through this. We started off from here, securing the network, and that's basically where you would have heard of us as a firewall vendor. We started off doing that from the early 90s, in fact, and we own the patent for the commercial stateful firewall. Firewall 1 is still part of us. So that's something that we are quite proud of. In the latter part of the early 2000s, we then started to migrate to different realms of security, and that's where we came up with our endeavor to secure users and assets, desktops, servers, and the services that they were offering. So from there sprung our need to secure, sprung the Harmony family. That's a massive portfolio unto itself. But then we didn't stop there. From, I would say, 2010 and on, we made massive strides to move to cloud, to secure cloud. And 10, 11 years later, we have one of the most mature and granular cloud security portfolio as of today. So that's basically what we'll be talking about. I won't be boring you with product names and features and product demonstration. I'll be talking about more from where US CIOs will see things and relate to. I'll tend to keep it quite generic, in fact. And let's talk about the topic of the day, your journey to the cloud. Right? So where we were in, I would say, the early 90s, late 90s and early 2000s. This is where we were. We were in traditional data centers. People who worked in the environment were always from the central office or they were from the branches. The applications that we had were classic three-tier applications, monoliths, single servers that had application, web, and DB. Classic three-tier applications, and most of the services that we ran were on-premise, right? We had emails, they were on-premise. If we had any sort of collaboration tools, they were on-premise. Our file servers, our CRMs, everything was on-premise, managed and hosted by us. The industry in general was like this in the country. Now, moving forward, like flash forward, maybe even 10 years from that point of time, and this is where we are right now. Your traditional data centers became hybrid, if not purely cloud. your employees were no more designated in either head office or branch. They were more fluid. The boundaries were more murkier. They were roaming employees. They were on-premise employees. Some of them came through the network. Some of them accessed the resources directly. Your application became a bit more different, massively overhauled, I would say. The concept of microservices being widely adopted in the country today. It's still cutting edge, but it's the cutting edge of competition as well, and it's being widely adopted. And of course, most applications that were convenient to be offloaded were offloaded to SaaS vendors. Email, like I said, collaboration, chat. We're on Teams right now, right? It's been offloaded to many vendors. And when we live in a world like this, there is a certain amount of responsibility that we have, right? Like one of the quotes go, with great power comes great responsibility. This is the responsibility that is bestowed onto us as vendors and onto you as customers. This model that you see right here is something that is widely accepted by the cloud service providers. Now, journey to the cloud, particularly to your massive your big threes, right? I would say four maybe in certain countries, but three generally: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, your globally spanned cloud service providers. They're they have a common accepted responsibility model that they share with their their customers. So when you subscribe to these cloud vendors, this is the contract that you sign. What does that contract basically say? The cloud vendors themselves are responsible for, and only for, the compute that they host, the storage, database, networking that they host for you. They will host these services for you and services on top of them for you, and they'll only secure that. Particularly from from a security perspective, they secure only that. On top of that, you as the subscriber to the platform, you can build uh, whole applications. You can build your data center on top of it, right? So from there, the network that you build on top of that, the operating system and the configuration of the network that you build on top of that, the platforms that you build on top of the infrastructures that you just laid on the cloud service providers, the configuration of those platforms and the applications, and the data, finally, all of this is your responsibility. It is absolutely your responsibility. And this model is a contract that you will virtually sign with your cloud service vendors once you enter in. So the myth of it's hosted in their network, they will take care of it, is clearly dispelled by the cloud security vendors. This is something that one should be very well aware of when you're starting to make your move to cloud. And yes, you've decided to move to cloud. I'm not going to sell that argument to you. It's been done by Yogesh. It's been done by the industry in general. Move to cloud is various places in various industries, but once it's picked up, it's detrimental. You either take it or you lose to the competition who does take it. That is the way to go. But once you decide to go that route, you will have challenges. You'll have massive challenges. Particularly, I would like to talk about them in these three fronts. So like I said, no products, no product terminologies, just these three problems that you face and how we solve it for you. So when you move to cloud, and when you do move to cloud, when you decide to, you will always move to multi-cloud or a hybrid scenario. No one ever moves to one cloud unless they're very sure of what they want. So when you decide to do that move, you will have three problems. You will have a problem of one, governance, which you always had, but since the cloud is fast, your problem also becomes fast. Cloud speed, as they say. You'll have a problem of visibility. If you thought you had a problem with visibility on your on-premise network, cloud's visibility problem is 100-fold. Not knowing of what is present on your network is everyone's fear in different scales. And finally, this is a different word that doesn't belong here. Prevention. Your need to prevent. It's not just security, it's not just detection. That's a particular word that I use over there because that solves the problem, this unique situations problem, prevention. These three problems is what we solve across your entire deployment of whichever cloud you go to and on-premise, even in the scenario of hybrids. This is the promise that we make to you. So this is the one thing that I would want you to recall from today, if you would want to recall. Governance, visibility, and prevention. That's what we do. What we do in each section, I'll start from prevention. The meat of the matter. Most of your problems will always revolve around wanting to secure it, you've gone to cloud, you want to secure it. It's always a submatter of this topic. First and foremost of what we do is, you remember us as firewall vendors, that DNA is still well alive. We have extended that ability to all of your popular cloud platforms across the globe, both on-premise and cloud. And yes, we just don't create a firewall in the cloud. We just don't spin up a VM in the cloud, a firewall in the cloud. The firewall that we provision for you, just to get to a little bit more deep on the topic. It spans, like I said, both private and public cloud deployments. It's elastic. This is a big benefit. When you put something on cloud, it's supposed to grow with cloud. The main benefit of cloud is its elasticity. If the number of customers that you expect to subscribe to a service doubles in an hour, your cloud can grow. Your cloud service will double. And then when the customers reduce, the cloud services that you spun up will reduce. The firewalls, the security components that you put in as well must do the same. And we do that. Of course, needless to go, you don't just we are not just present on the cloud platform, but we also integrate with the cloud platform. There are a lot of benefits that come with that that are more operational in its view. And of course, the buzzword that keeps on purveying, microsegmentation. We are able to assure you and work in microsegmentation in any of your cloud platforms that you might move to. Out of the box. It's the benefit of moving to cloud. You can make microsegmentation happen at the snap of a finger, but you need a good OEM to be with you when you do that. So that's where we are for you. Compare us with the cloud service providers and what they actually provide. I won't bore you with the details. This stack that you see right here is the stack of features that you see with our firewall. And what they give for you is a basic firewall, an access control list firewall, an ACL firewall, what you had in the 90s. That's basically what you get. And cloud service providers wash their hands of security, right? They say we have security partners, security OEMs that they themselves tie up with. People like us, our peers in the security vertical industry, we take this responsibility through them. So this is the difference. You need to inquire on what you're subscribing to when you take things up in cloud, particularly in security. I won't delve deep on each matter, but yes, moving a slight bit forward, a slight bit tad towards relevance to the forum today. The firewalls that we have, whether it's cloud or on-premise, our next generation firewalls are IoT and OT enabled. They're IoT and OT ready. Okay, what does it particularly mean? They understand your network. They understand the applications, your OT applications that are running. They understand the protocols that you use. It's granular to a level where they also understand your OT commands. So the firewall can even control, block, allow certain commands from being called. It's very granular. You have a lot of control on OT. and you also have it also has an ability to discover IoT devices. A big problem if you have a runaway IoT situation. Every problem has an IoT that will fix the problem. You buy one, you install it in the network. You need to have a catalog of what you have. You need a vendor who can discover IoT devices for you. Again, just to get a little bit more deep into what we do, pertinent to the forum today. And yes, when you buy a firewall, it's supposed to protect your resources. It's supposed to protect your services. The fact is that most of the firewall vendors today are tuned for IT. They're tuned for IT services. They're tuned to protect IT resources and not not OT. So that gray area is where we dabble in. We are experts on both. So the former, our ability to understand the protocols and the applications is one great example. Here's another example. We are able to virtually patch and protect all of your vulnerabilities, your OT and IoT vulnerabilities from the get-go. You have thousands of different protections for multiple 50 plus vendors. We secure all of their vulnerabilities in real time. This will address that fear, that lingering fear of our infrastructure being overtaken by, for example, a Mirai bot, which was targeting water pumps in America. It's something that that we always overlook, because OT we always have this fear of don't touch it if it works. That's we help you do that. You don't have to upgrade. You don't have to patch. If you have the firewall, it protects against vulnerable devices, even if it is unpatched. And yes, the final thing I would want you to remember is, with respect to the firewall alone, we span all the cloud service providers, and we are present on premise. So if you are going hybrid, which is the way to go if you're deciding to move to cloud, we protect all of it from a single place. So you could have your firewalls in HQ, you could manage everything from HQ, and you could have, for example, your front end in AWS. This is a typical customer scenario. AWS has a very good CDN and supply line compared to the other vendors. So they essentially become the front end most scenarios. And then you would want to use Google Cloud for its analytics abilities if required. You would want to use Azure for its database capabilities, because they do have better approach when it comes to their brand of databases. So whatever your hybrid scenario is, all you need to remember is Checkpoint will be present everywhere, and you can manage them from your premise. You can manage them from one place. This is essentially the first thing that we bring in when we secure cloud. Right, and this what I'm presenting to you right now is something that we had around in 2012-13 itself. We were already in the scene. But let me move towards something new. Now, for those of you who have already moved to cloud, this is a conversation that we will keep having. Your product team, your development team, the service team from the back end would always keep bobbing in and out, requesting for you to engage on some new age technology, particularly with your applications. They would want to go microservices, right? As I mentioned before. Now, this is a big push. It has a different kind of edge. The people, the verticals that would benefit them are ones that have a very fast turnover time. But fast turnover time is everybody's game today when it comes to rolling out a product to the market. So we are already there for you when they talk about microservices. When your product team talks to you about microservices, they'll talk about Kubernetes, They'll talk about serverless functions if they're already on Azure or AWS. Whatever the leapfrog is that they expect in technology, we're already there to secure it. This offering has been present for already a couple of years right now. We're already on the front end of securing your serverless and microservices front. And in the same lines, when you host an application, your cloud applications are much more, I would say, agile. And so the main problem that they have is your conventional application security does not work when you try to secure them. And that's why we extend the workload protection with our application protection. We do provide out-of-the-box WAF capabilities. So there is no need to subscribe for a pointed WAF vendor. We provide API security on top of that. So again, this is something that you didn't intend to secure, but API is something that's already being targeted today. It's a major open hole. If you are exposing APIs, if you're thinking about collaborating with services outside your organization to better your work, then API is the way to go, but you need to secure them. We do provide bot protection, and particularly we are able to do intrusion prevention. But the statement of the day is, with workload prevention, we are also giving you application protection. And this right here is the meat of your prevention approach. We'll get back to it. I will review that in an architectural blueprint that will be more clairvoyant for you. But let's move on to governance. This is much more of a problem from the perspective of CIOs than that of prevention. So the biggest thing that I felt primarily when I moved to cloud, and I hear from customers as well, is the ability to maintain compliance or maintain compliance to a framework. Now, that was always a problem on premise, but when you think about cloud is far more agile than on premise. On premise, if you want to build up a new application, it takes time. You'll have to procure servers. You'll have to procure you'll have to procure the application on top of it, deploy the application, deploy the code on top of it, secure the networking, and then you put it into staging and then maybe more to production. It'll take a couple of months. In cloud, any application can be effortlessly spun up in no less than a day. It's very quick. And the problem with the situation when it's that quick is your non-compliance problem as well will be that quick. You can go to sleep knowing that you are 98% compliant to a framework, wake up and there are 200 new assets and your compliance rate has fallen by 60%. It's absolutely possible. These nightmare scenarios do happen. And what I would say is, this is where we step in for you. We are not only able to give you a compliance score in no less than a minute. We run and we assess all of your infrastructure in just under over a minute in AWS or Azure or Google Cloud or whichever cloud platform you work on, and we say, hey, you're 68% compliant, you're 70% compliant. We give you a score. This is good. But what's more, we're able to automatically fix non-compliances. So let's say there were 50 assets, VMs, that were non-compliant. We can correct them. We can auto-remediate non-compliances, and we can bring your environment to compliance. Now, this is different. This is something that you'd expect from cloud. It fixes non-compliances. It fixes issues with framework, right? This is the big benefit that we give you with respect to compliance. And I'll talk about the third vertical, the third problem of today, visibility. So The simple thing that that I would again reiterate from the problem that we saw in governance is cloud speed. It takes no amount of time to spin up new resources. If I were at a governing seat of a hybrid or multi-cloud company, I would want to know what's present in each cloud, right? If I have 5 accounts in AWS and a bunch of accounts in Azure and few accounts in Google Cloud, I want to know what infrastructure I have in all of them in real time, considering that people can spin up infrastructure in the matter of a few clicks. With Checkpoint, as simple as that, you get a complete overview of what is present in your infrastructure. Let me just zoom in here. You get a complete overview of what and all assets I have. It's as simple as that. If I want to know how many VMs I have, how many databases I have, how many load balancers I have provisioned from maybe AWS, how many databases I have from Azure, what is their compliance stage, basic questions. I want all of it to be seen in one dashboard and I want it to be live. That's something that's quite a reasonable ask, and we do it out of the box. And this is a major thing to remember when you move to cloud, the ability to have visibility. A more particular problem about visibility is your network diagram, for a lack of a better word. When you have a deployment on-premise, when you have your own data center, you have a good idea of how your network layout is. You go about building a network architecture, you put it on paper, and there are a few changes here and there, but the fact is that your on-premise network is not that fast. You know if things are being changed around, and the diagram can change. Your vision of what your architecture is can change. You can understand. With cloud, you never know um, where it stands at that moment of time. That's basically because of the same problem. People can spin up new infrastructure in cloud in in the matter of a few minutes. Just a few configuration changes here and there can completely change the architecture. Your database can go from being in an internal zone to being in the DMZ in just a matter of a few clicks. This happens all the time. People assume that they have one architecture, and when we do a security assessment and we visualize their network with this, with our ability of providing them visibility, they are baffled. And so we provide you the ability to visualize your network in these clean swim lanes. So we can basically look at your network and say, these resources are internal, these resources are in the DMZ, these are purely external. This is how the access works. We're able to give you a network diagram, for the lack of a better word, in live. Now you would think this is such an obvious thing, you would get it with the cloud vendor itself, and honestly, that's not the case. You don't get this with any of the cloud vendors, any of the cloud service providers. But we do it for you. And yes, the final thing with respect to visibility, the simple fact that when you're on a cloud service provider's platform, you need visibility into who did what, which user logged in, which user changed the configuration, which your nature of the kind of traffic that you're receiving. You need a thorough catalog of all of that. Just because, again, the fact that the cloud is far more agile, you go there and you receive far more traffic than you intend to receive. Having a firewall and parsing firewall logs is no more um, keen enough. So you need a vendor who can pull all the traffic data from the cloud service platform itself, pull all the user behavior from the cloud service platform itself, and clearly display it for you. This platform is basically able to give you that map out of what a particular internal user did over that one period of time. What services did he mess with? What new services did he bring about? How did he make any changes to the existing infrastructure? You get a complete map of all of that, and then we are also able to tell you or give you alerts rather that this user's behavior is strange. He's doing something that's not allowed. He's doing something that's anomalous to who he is. We give you that intelligence. Not only do we help you map, but checkpoints intelligence of what's wrong, what's not supposed to be done on a cloud platform is also fed into that, and we are able to intimate you of that. In the real world, you would want what you would be doing is without all of this ability that we bring to the table, you would be sending all of these logs to a SOC. It would be passed into a SIM. You would have analysts who sit and who review the behavior, and they would manually be writing hooks for all of these unique behaviors. It will take months, if not practically, it's impossible to do this. We are able to do this for you just because we are the specialists in that. And so we act as an intermediate between you and the SOC team by enriching this data. And yes, the three problems that we had addressed in general are summarized here finally as the product portfolio that we have. This portfolio in general, like I said, it's hosted and run by us. We secure your cloud platforms, and we also enhance your practices in different realms. For example, if you have a CI/CD pipeline, if you have a lot of code that's being pushed and stored and parsed and saved in your network, we help with securing the code, making sure that they are in line. If you have containers, if you are going with any of the new age technology, we help you refine them. We help you secure them. And yes, this platform in itself is a intermediary between cloud and your SOC team, essentially. Whatever alerting tools they have, whatever event management tools they have, we act as an intermediate, and we give them sure information. We give them collated information. This gap that we fill is a void that the cloud service providers leave. There's you would need a vendor like Checkpoint for this scenario. And just finally, a quick architecture review of what we do. Just a quick blueprint. I promised this to you at the beginning. We, by the flow of this diagram, we are able to secure the code when they are being developed. This is your code pipeline. When the code is being uploaded, we are able to scan the code. We are able to scan the images, your containers, and say that that they are vulnerable or that they are not vulnerable. Once the code is deployed in your premise, in one of your next generation infrastructure, or as a conventional application on a VM, yeah, we are able to secure it with the workload protection family and the network security firewall family and the platform in general that you're deploying all of this on, your Azures, your AWS, your Google Clouds, whichever yes platform you have. We are able to secure them with our posture management, our compliance posture management engine, and our intelligence engine. This is everything that we do as of today. Now, the message I wanted to portray right at the end of this was one, wherever you go, whatever we do in cloud, particularly we Checkpoint do in cloud, we're going to do it automated. Everything that you saw right here, the mindset of automation comes into it. Either it's the firewall, workload protection, application protection, it's the compliance engine automatically fixing non-compliance. All of it is automated. We run with that in our DNA. we do security and security only, and anything that we do, it comes out as a high fidelity security approach. And yes, finally, we apply everywhere. When you have a cloud journey, we're there with you. You have a meeting with your cloud vendors, you have a meeting with us. We're able to give you a roadmap of what to secure when you decide to develop something on cloud, whether it's your pipeline, code pipeline, whether it's a private on-premise cloud, whether it's a public cloud, whether it's new age applications, new age technology that you intend to use either on-premise or on the public cloud. Whatever your endeavor is, we are there with you when it's cloud related. And yes, I'll wrap up my conversation for today. What I propose to the forum is I offer the following. You can bring me in for a no strings attached one-to-one consultation. We have our cloud security architects team, no strings attached. You can just review your infrastructure with us. Product agnostic, we're able to tell you just architecturally what is missing, what is different, or if you're, for example, planning to get to cloud, we can help you lay a roadmap of how your infrastructure will be in general, how your security will be now, and how it can go forward. Again, none of this is to do with what we are as OEMs. We can do this as security architects in general. If time comes, we can give your teams a hands-on and a demonstration of how we actually are able to secure products, how we are able to secure cloud environments in live. And for those of you who are in a fairly advanced or mature stage in cloud, we offer a full security assessment. We're able to connect our tools and tactics and techniques to your cloud platform, and we give you a full assessment, no strings attached, and we say this is where you stand, these are the changes that you need to do, and we will step out from there. These are the three things that we offer today for this forum today. I'll take my pause over here. I'd like to thank you for giving us this forum, and I'll open up for questions if any.
Hi, Sai. So there were a few questions that were addressed to Anand. So let me just read those out, and if this is something you would want to take, then you can take this up. So there was one question from Mr. Vinod. It said, Anand, do you have your own? Okay, this is for this is for Anand or Yogesh. One of you could take it, Anand. Do you have your own DLP, EDR, MDR, PAM, SOC, etc., or you are implementer of OEM like Checkpoint? Yogesh, would you want to come in, or Anand, one of you?
Runa, I responded, and probably we'll speak to Vinod sir on this separately.
Okay.
Actually, this is very brief question. Probably we need to have a longer discussion. Actually, it's not a simple single line answer. Yogesh, correct me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Anand. I think this is better you discuss one-on-one and provide the answers.
Yeah, this is for particular question. Actually, this question we got from Brijesh Verma sir is little complicated and too technical for me. Probably Sai can take it, or Yogesh if you would like to.
Then the one from about the network diagram, is that the one you're referring?
No, I am referring to the last question. What is the availability in the API security offering?
Yes. So Sai, I'll just read that out for you. It is from Mr. Brijesh Kumar. What is the availability in the API security offering? Is it tagging of the destination, and how does it have enhanced features with respect to gateways?
Okay, what is the availability with API offering? Okay, I understand that you're more inquiring on what features that does it have. So particular to API security, there are two things that we do. One, you give us the API schema of your API applications. That's basically a map of your of your API application and what application what kind of programs you're exposing. So we take the schema in and we have a good map of your API exposures, and then we are able to build visibility of what application you have. That's one. Second, we do AI analysis on traffic patterns. We look for API abuses. For example, if someone is excessively calling a particular kind of API, if they're trying to denial of service any particular one kind of API, if they're trying to prod and map an API, we protect them. So this is basically I would say OWASP top 10 protections for API. We do that, and then we're able to detect who are the people who are using the API calls, who are the entities rather who are doing the API calls, because logic dictates that hackers don't themselves just sit and launch API commands. They use bots, they use automated scripts for mapping all of these. And so it's very easy for a bot to detect a bot. I think that's the analogy that I will use. So our engine itself is able to detect such bots, and we're able to prevent them. So you know that only legitimate entities or users are allowed to make these calls and not automated bots. Generally, this is what we do with respect to API tagging of destinations and how it enhances the feature with respect to gateways. So if you're saying you already have a WAF and you want to prescribe, you want to see API gateway in particular, sir, I think we can take this conversation offline because it is fairly more detailed. I think we can set up a one-to-one meeting. That'll be more appropriate. Runa, I think that's appropriate, right?
Sure. I can tag this question for you later, then Sai. Okay, there is one more question. Sai and Yogesh, one of you could take. Can you suggest whether customer is required to buy SIEM license or Splunk is bundled in your solution? I think Sai, you could take this.
Okay, so with respect to cloud in general, honestly, if it is only with respect to that deployment that I showed in cloud, you don't need an SIEM. Okay. The fact is that when the events come from checkpoint, it's already enriched, and we know for a fact that it is a legitimate incident. That is the purpose of a SIM, right? It collates logs from different sources, and you are able to decide that yes, this is a legitimate event. That's the whole purpose of it. We are able to give you that intelligence without having a SIM tool. So when you see the events come from checkpoint, it's for sure a legitimate event. You don't need a SIM. If you already have a SIM, we can pass on the intelligence to them. We can pass on the events to them. And no, we don't bundle licenses of SIMs in the same package, primarily because what I said was we don't need those.
Yeah,
I hope that's
answered
the question, Mr. Prashant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sai, very well answered. But if there are log sources on the cloud or on-prem, which are other than checkpoint, and log sources are many more other than checkpoint, I think an SIEM tool would be important.
Of course. So that's exactly what I was saying. Particularly with respect to cloud, the thing is we also ingest logs from the cloud itself, the platforms itself. So they might have, load balancers in cloud, the networks in cloud, VPC flow logs, the audit trails. We ingest all of them in cloud. So in essence, we act like an SIEM. Only thing is, our purpose is slightly different from that of an SIEM. But only for that scenario being deployed in cloud, we do that purpose. But for a greater deployment, you're correct. You would want a simple when it's more than just the cloud.
Great, thanks a lot, Sai. One more request for any questions people have. If not, then over to you, Mr. Gajendra, and we can have a closing.
Yeah, thank you. So I think we are also running short of time, but the last session was from Sai Karthik. Those who joined late for their information. Sai is a cloud security specialist from Checkpoint, and prior to that we had session from Mr. Yogesh Poddar, uh, where he helped us understand their cloud offering with reference to cybersecurity from Simon Cyber Security Services as an organization. So for though this is a 1 hour session, there are a lot of efforts actually everybody put in. So from these couple of sessions we had a lot of insights in case now also they try to answer some of the questions, but in case there are any further questions we are going to get their email IDs from, and we can keep connected with them. We also have Anand based out of Pune. We can connect with Anand as well from Locus. So I would say it was wonderful session and insightful session, and it definitely would help us in long term. Looking forward to have many more such sessions from Checkpoint and Locus. On behalf of CIO Manufacturing Forum, we are thankful to Locus as well as Checkpoint and all those who worked for arranging and executing this session. And we almost had 50 members join today for this session. I would say the attendance was also very good. And I'm thankful to all CIO members, CIO Manufacturing Forum members for taking out their time from their busy schedule. I think, sorry.
No, go ahead, Mr. Gajendra.
No, I think, there is a feedback form also circulated, if I'm not wrong. Are we going to talk about that?
Yeah, Gajendra,
Yes,
I'll say something here.
Yeah.
We actually wanted to, give the feedback form here, but that would have kind of, come in a way of the presentation that Sai was doing, which I think was very engaging. So we are going to send a thank you note in an email, and with that we will send the link. And there's a very interesting, very crisp and very short questions that we are asking customers in terms of how their cloud journeys are and how we can step in and help. And we would really encourage everyone to fill out the details, which will take not more than 5-10 minutes, and send them to us. And this is an online form that people can just fill out and save it there. And then we're going to run a lottery, and few giveaways will be done on that. But what we are interested in is that asking people and looking at their responses in terms of how we can engage and how we can support in their cloud journeys. And
understood.
I would like to take this moment to thank the CIO Manufacturing Forum group to organize this at a short notice. And we're very happy with the outcome. And we hope that further engagement start with this, and we're able to help people in their cloud journeys. Thank you, Gajendra. Thank you, team.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. As Yogesh said, we will shortly reach out to you over email, share the recording of this session, as well as share the presentations by Sai and Yogesh, along with the feedback form. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye.